Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time we dive back into Kingpin. I had him at rank 3, did the initial review. I really liked this guy. But you know me, I like to test champions without their synergies first, just to get a good idea of what do they do at their base. You know, I don't want to have to bring along their travel partners. Let's find out how good they are alone. Then we get to the synergies. I've had reason to play him more with this Hood synergy. Wow, I could not be more impressed and more excited for Hood, but we'll get to that later. That is a whole nother thing. Kingpin is exceptionally well made. He feels like you're playing this big crime boss, right? And then when you bring along his lieutenants, his helpers, he becomes even more powerful. What am I talking about specifically here? What is it with Hood? That makes Kingpin's debuff into rage mechanic 100%. And the rage on themselves is increasing your attack power, but then when you get them to 8, you're getting that massive basically 7,800 fury. We're gonna take a look at some fights of this. We're gonna see how exceptionally well this works and the amount of damage you're getting from what's supposed to be a node or a defender that's hurting you. We're gonna take a look at quite a few of them. And then at the end, we will kind of take a look at Hood and why, you know, people cared so much about that buff and how great he could be. But here we go. Let's concentrate on what we can concentrate on. This is Hazard, Shift, Incinerate, Poison. We're also going up against Aarkus. Keep an eye on what is happening when we get a debuff. It's going to be turning into that nice red rage there. I just love this. I love this, right? Because you used to think, oh, I got to take in a champion who's poison immune and incinerate immune, or at least one of them. And then I got to worry about this defender. Aarkus can trick people up, right, with his tenacity and things like that. And he does have some big power gain. But look how hard we're hitting. I'm not running any of the recoil tree masteries, not the bleed, not the poison. We are hitting insanely hard. We have these two massive furies. We're getting more attack from the rage. That fight's done. That was a rank 3 Vision Aarkus who was not running the recoil masteries. No dying from bleed or poison, dying just because Kingpin destroyed him. Kingpin destroyed him. Now we're going to move on to this ebb and flow intercept against Immortal Abomination, who is also not going to be running the recoil masteries. This is a rank 3. Now the damage is going to be a little tougher to really calculate here because this is the protect, which I am going to get off of him with some intercepts here. There you see one. So we now have a nice fury, but still this is a rank 3. And then really what we're looking for here is what's happening with these poisons. You see, and keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. In fact, I think you're seeing this here a little bit. It is all debuffs. It's not just damaging debuffs. It's not non-damaging debuffs. It is just debuffs. They get turned into this rage. You turn the rage into a fury. You see, we got this nice fury here. We are hitting pretty hard. We are hitting pretty hard, and we're just taking it to this abomination. And then keep in mind too, here's something else I think it's important to keep in mind is you're healing from these debuffs. He does have that reduced regeneration, right? That we were worried it was going to be like Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen. Sorry for the way that turned out. I know a lot of us were excited about it, but it turned out well here for Kingpin. And a lot of these fights, you're gonna notice his health is actually going up. The only way to really manipulate his healing regeneration is through poisons themselves. He's often turning those into rage, and he's healing up. All right, now you're thinking maybe those defenders aren't so tough. Let's take a look at Thing. We're gonna really have to be concentrating on the rock stacks. Yeah, this is only a rank 5 star. Not a ton of health, but you know, that's only one rank off of the rank 3 6-star. And we're really looking at complexity. Can Kingpin handle that? I think here's your answer. I think here's your answer. And keep in mind, this is on top of all the other things Kingpin can do, like the Unstoppables and things like that. So I really like this synergy. I think it's enhancing something he does pretty well already, but it's bringing it to 100%. And we talk so much in this game about 100%, how important 100% is, right? Like Black Widow Deadly Origin, her ability accuracy reduction is nice, but you can't get it to 100. You can't get it to 100. So you know that when you're playing this game, it just feels like when it can go wrong, man, it will, right? That's Murphy's Law. Kingpin can get it to 100. There's two downsides to it. There's two downsides, and I will show one of the downsides here coming up soon, because there's someone you would normally think, oh, I'll use Kingpin for that fight. Well, keep this in mind. This could happen to you. The other one is that it's a 0.5 second cooldown on that rage mechanic. And that's why a couple times you did see a debuff would stick, right? Just because I'd be hitting it too quickly. If it's really important, you can slow play a little bit. You'll get those debuffs down, and honestly, for the most part, typically one debuff's not going to really harm you anyways, and he's healing back up so much. He's healing back up so much. So he is awesome. I think when you include the damage that he can do, the amount of kind of like fight saving, which is what we're going to take a look at here. This is a Limber. I'm trying to play this node debuff. I'm sorry, stun immune. Often you've seen people come in. We use the White Max pre-fight for this. We all know how much damage Hitmonkey can do. He does have the recoil masteries on the bleed and the poison, but this fight isn't meant to show off the crazy damage of Kingpin. What this fight is meant to show off, we'll get to it in about 30 seconds here, is how it's not just, hey, this debuff is coming off of you. He can take, hazard shift. He can take fights where opponents like Immortal Abomination are putting poisons on you. It can also really save a fight for you. We've got it coming up here. What you're going to see is I'm a little uncertain. I think this fight was early in the morning. I don't even remember. It's off-season war, so we're taking it seriously, but not really, right? And coming in here, it's coming right up, and Hitmonkey's gonna, yeah, here we go. And I'm gonna punish this late. Watch this. Watch what happens. Watch how this can save you. Here we go. He's coming in. I timed this poorly. I'm gonna go in and try to punish, and he's gonna stun me. And boom, before Hitmonkey can punish me, it's off. I'm hitting another time with a light. I'm able to adjust from it, and that completely saves this fight for me. At least I think it does. If Hitmonkey had specialed me, I think I probably would have died. Who knows? It doesn't matter because I didn't. This can really save you. This can really save you. Yes, it more often than not, is going to help you. It's going to help you with a tremendous amount of damage when you should actually be suffering from it, and you should be taking the negative effects from it. You're turning it into extra power. You're turning it into extra damage, but it can also save you, as you see right there. And I'm sure you're starting to think about like encroaching stun. Other things that happen in this game that you usually have into time, and sometimes it just doesn't work out, right? There you go. Now, here's the other situation where the way the rage mechanic works is really bad for you, right? And you would want to use him against Void. Void is tough. Being able to shrug those debuffs is really nice. And you're going to see how that can work out. The problem is the way rage is considered. Rage is a debuff. Command was very clear in it. Here it says, Kingpin can gain rage, which is a debuff. And then if you think about the way Void does damage, watch how much health I'm going to lose. Now, this is a rank 3. There's a rank 3 Void in War. I do not believe he has the recoil masters on. If I remember correctly, he does not. Plus the protection node. So this is going to be a race. This is a race. Can I get Void down before he's killing me? See, look at this. Because of the debuffs, he is causing a lot of damage. It's 408 going down. I'm only healing up 803. I knew I really had to push this through. I think this is cool because it shows how much damage Kingpin can do, that we are able to out damage Void's debuff damage, right? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I kind of just give away how this fight's going to end, but realistically, I wasn't going to be showing it if it had gone poorly, or I would have just mentioned it and been like, do not do this, right? So here we go. We've got the nice Fury from the node. And so just keep this in mind, right? I always like to present the fair picture here, the accurate pictures. That way, when you go in, you're like, yeah, Vega told me about this, that there was this downside for this. This isn't really a Void counter, or I mean, you can, but you see how dangerous this can get, and you might not want to be having too many fights left over on that path. He'll heal up, so maybe it'll be okay. But you get the point here. This guy is intense. He is awesome. This was volume 1. This is volume 1. I want to know what you think. If you're more intrigued by him now, if you're not, what other synergies you'd like to see. There are a couple other I already have in mind that I think can really configure him so he can be taking some absolutely difficult nodes, fights, defenders for you. It's not just this debuff thing, although this is massive. You think about how many of these are in the game. Let me know what you think. This was volume 1. I think there's gonna be a volume 2 and a volume 3. Of course, a lot will have to do with what you all say, how much people enjoyed this, and if people wanna watch this. I'm showing this because this was just meant to be pure damage. And that's what I wanted to show you is this is a quality champion without all of that. This is a really quality champion. I have them in my super premium tier, which is my 2nd tier. with all of these synergies and what I plan to show over the next few volumes, I think with those, for certain, he is a top shelf champion. Is he better than Shang-Chi? Is he better than Fury? I don't know. And I've gotten to the point, and I think you all know that, where I think, let's not worry about that. You know, let's put him into tiers, and then after that, it's going to depend on the defender. It's going to depend on the node. It's going to depend on what you need to get done. With these synergies, I think he absolutely belongs in that tier. And look at this. This is just pure damage. Rank 3, Hulk, not running any of the recoil mastery, so he's not taking extra damage. He's even going to be healing back up at some point. He had protection on from the node at many points in this fight. He's even going to heal up. He's going to go immortal and all these things in what, we're 3 minutes and 30 seconds into this fight. And he should have been dead. Now he's going to do his whole immortal thing here, which is really fun. Heals up to 14%, and Kingpin is about to destroy this. There was no debuffs. There was no extra rage being gained. This was a series of SP1s, some SP2s, 2 minutes. It's done. No boosts, no recoil masteries, which you can run with him, especially with that hood synergy. And this fight's over. This guy's a beast. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I didn't include the hood fight. And to be honest, I just completely forgot about it. Plus the length of this video I thought was adequate to show Kingpin. If you're curious about Hood though, ask me and we can talk a little bit of what he did. In essence, he took down a Dragon Man for me in a fight he really had no business taking. His stagger and his ability to keep that stagger up prevented the power gain from Dragon Man. And then eventually he got the fight down. So if Hood gets his damage increased and he gets a little bit more utility, this is going to be a heck of a team, an absolute heck of a team. Kingpin's going to take a lot of those fights, and if you just use Hood for 1 or 2 or 3 more on the lane, because he's going up against a Cosmic or someone who's getting these buffs or something like that, whew, watch out. All right, like I said, let me know what you think. I'd love to put up Volume 2 and Volume 3. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.